Hi.
Look at this guy.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah, remember this guy?
Yeah, I just walked up here. Pure coincidence. But
I don't know. I think he's stalking me myself.
No, I mean, I believe that the government does gang stalk people, but not because that they're of any importance whatsoever. But they actively target like crazy people in order to destabilize any ideology that they may be targeting actually important people. Because like a famous guy says, "Oh my God, I'm being gang stalked." They're going to be compared to a bunch of poor schizos. Who's going to give a shit? Nobody. 'Cause that's how it works. The first step to destabilizing is to start with the mind, start with the psyche, start with the population. If you yourself are not sure, then anybody can feed you a reality that they want you to listen to.
That's right. It's called indoctrination.
You know, that's the thing. Indoctrination is not inherently bad. It's what you're being indoctrinated to. And the problem with indoctrination is that you may not know the full cost of it. Because, you know, I was indoctrinated to wipe my ass with a toilet. I was indoctrinated to use a bidet.
You actually wipe your ass with a toilet?
No.
You mean toilet paper?
Yeah, toilet paper and use a bidet. I'd rather not, you know, shit in a hole like my ancestors did. I mean, like my cousins do, you know, in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They do it in Japan as well. But, you know, like I'm happy with where I'm at because I know where I could be otherwise. Most people live in a place where they do not know what it's like elsewhere. You know what's happening in France right now? The farmers are revolting against Macron. The farmers are rising up because they just don't want to participate in a world where they're forced to farm for like Tyson, and they themselves pay for the land. They have to pay the tax on the land to work for a company that not even is French owned. For a government
doesn't own an acre of land.
Yeah, and they still have to pay the taxes for it.
Right.
And meanwhile, the government's shelling out all this money for a different country that is not even theirs. And it's not that it's bad to help other countries. It's just bad to put other countries above your own people. Like, America can afford to do it because, you know,
we're the leader of the free world.
yeah, we have the stability to. But France right now is in a very vulnerable position where they cannot, you know, have their cake and eat it too. You know. Very funny. France seems. When I say that, because you know Marie Antoinette, the revolt. France revolts constantly, but like I feel like 2026, like I said with Lenin, there are decades where nothing happens and weeks where decades happen. And 2026 is in its first week, barely even, and it's already the week where decades happen.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the youth. I'm grateful for people my age. Why? Well, a lot of people, you know, 9% they're completely dull. The 10% that are aware, that are active, they're doing great and beautiful things. I hope I'm contributing to that. Hopefully, oh my God, you know, because sometimes it's easy to think that you're not doing anything, to think that you are outside of it. So that's simply the fact that you are an independent being with thoughts and emotions. It's easy to forget that you are a part of the system, even if you don't think you are.
You're pretty smart kid, man. 21 years old. You're pretty incredible.
Like I said, if I have to be smart,
you're smarter than our president.
I know. Listen, our president, you know, for all the good and bad, inherently he is a transitionary person. He is not the end of history. He's not the beginning of history. He is a transitionary period from, I don't know, like the post-Obama era, I would say. That kind of it's neocon, neoliberal. The only real difference is if you like gay people or not. And otherwise, you're just gonna take everything, bomb the shit out of you. We're progressing from that to a new generation. And that's the thing. Obama, and especially in his first term, was not really an improvement over George W. Bush. If anything, he was Bush term 3. That's the thing. Like the American Democrats are not any different than Republicans or vice versa. It's all political theater, Masonic theater, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to be a doomer here because I believe that negativity is a poison to the mind. But we are in a period where we are transitioning from that kind of neutrality, that poisonous, dangerous apathy, into a period of passion, of art, and fighting. That is wonderful. Oh yeah, a German friend of mine wanted to also say with the Polish things, the Germans in Poland, they suffered under Switzerland genocide, and that was a big trouble for them. So that's also too. Well, people were not aware of that, and that because of their unawareness of that tragedy that was happening, it allowed for evil and chaos to rise out of that. It allowed for governments to be destabilized. Our ignorance is ironically a tool for progression. That's not to say it's good. It's just to say, um, if a diabetic person has like a necrotic leg, it's gonna get chopped off. If something bad happens enough, then things have to get better or they're gonna get worse. We're in a period where it's either gonna get better or gonna get worse, and I feel personally in my heart of hearts that it is gonna get better. We are in a period where we cannot afford to get worse. If we get worse, it's game over. But the thing is that we have my generation, we have Gen A, we have people that rely on there being a tomorrow. A lot of like the older generation, tragically, just kind of believe it's gonna repeat on the 60s forever. There's a population that kind of just believes it's gonna be the 80s to 90s, kind of eternally repeating. The thing is, that's not how reality works. Like the Western Europe, for example, they're kind of stuck in that transitionary period where they're not recognizing the new transitionary period. They're in that kind of growth where we can say, oh yeah, we support you, we like you, and then keep everyone in debt slavery. And they think they can keep doing that. That's not how it works anymore. Things are changing. There are, this is a week where decades happen. Things are going to happen. And a lot of people simply do not want to hear that. And if they do, they want to believe that it's going to happen their way. But the only way that can happen is if you enact on it. If you truly enact on it,
You're an amazing guy.
Yeah.
21 years old. You're incredible. Let me ask you about Pineview. How long did you go to Pineview?
Here, for the Kiwi farmers who are looking up me, because the Kiwi farmers, they're a documentarian of internet individuals who like to research eccentric individuals. I'm on their list. I used to be one of them until they banned me. Long story. But yeah, I've been to Pineview from about 2019, 2022. I feel like I was seeing the transitionary period where people were becoming more active, where they were becoming more cynical. The youth was beginning to rise up, and the idea of high school, like the nerd and jock groups, were starting to dissolve. You could be young and healthy and be educated and think for yourself. You could be faithful. You could be cynical. You could think for yourself without having to live in the status quo. I think I live in a very exceptional population of youth. Because Sarasota objectively is God's waiting room, So like the young people here are aware of that change. We are on the cusp of a dying civilization, and we are going to inherit that. So we have to be a little different. We have to be cynical, And things are gonna get crazier from here on out, and that's a good thing. A lot of people are negative in that. They're gonna say, "Oh, everything's going mad. Everything's going to the dogs." Good, let it go to the dogs. Let the vultures eat the dead flesh. Let the maggots feast upon the corpse of the old civilization. That is a good thing, because you do it nowadays too. If there's necrotic tissue on like a body that needs to be removed, they get maggots. They get decomposers on there, and they eat up all that gunk, all that dead tissue, so they can work with it, so they can heal from there. That's the period we are in now. We're in a period where the dead tissue is being eaten away. It's not that the rot was never there before, it just we ignored it. We allowed it to fester. And now my generation, we are the decomposers, we are the mushrooms, we are the carrion, we are eaters, we are the vultures who are coming down to feast upon the old generation.
Wow.
A lot of people, I know that's very violent.
This kid's
rhetoric,
incredible, man. Listen to every word.
But that is the truth. Inherently, we are the young who are the first generation, really, in a very long while, a long time coming, I gotta say, that have to feast on the dead of the old culture. Not like literal,
Yeah,
death,
I get it.
but like we are inheriting a culture that has, like with Stranger Things, for example, we are living in a culture that is thinking about like 20 years ago, 40 years ago, back to the past, constantly reverting. It made sense in like the 80s, I guess, when you're looking back to the 60s. You were like, before the 60s, you had the 40s, and before the 40s, you had the 20s. You don't want to look back there, But we have lived in a period where we have been looking back so far that we're looking up our asses. And
I hear you, man.
that eventually
There's a lot of truth in what you say.
you go swap the colon, you're bound to see shit. And I think the youth is seeing that shit. Both sides, everything. That's why I think they're getting more radical. That's why I think they're getting weirder. We are simply trying to clean out the shit that we have been fed our entire lives. And that, like for example, like the myth of Steve Jobs, this wonderful guy. Oh, big tech is here to save us, is here to take care of us. Elon Musk is here to give us new technology. Even if you accept new technology, I'm not going to accept Tim Cook. I'm not going to accept Apple because these people represent the death of my culture, the death of my future. If I allow them to, I've seen it happen. I think the youth is more aware of the concept of goyim. The goyim, as in there's spiritually dead people who willingly let themselves into debt slavery or spiritual slavery simply because it's easier than taking care of themselves. The goyim, I feel, these spiritually dead, willful slaves are alongside my generation. And we've seen how it's gone for them, how completely dead they are. Have you heard of bone smashing before? Basically, there's a Looksmaxer website, which is the optimized beauty, and it's run by a really ugly dude. Anyways, bone smashing is a feeling that because we live in such a time of peace, we are inherently forgetting an evolutionary need to fight, need to be broken up. So kids are like hitting themselves with hammers to simulate them getting punched in the face at like a pub or a brawl because they don't have those spaces anymore. I think it's evil. I think it's being promoted by awful people, but inherently the concept of it is not wrong. That's where all evil comes from. Half truths, half deceptions. Things are imperfect. Therefore, you gotta take my poison to kill it. Anyways, but like these kids, they want a sense of victory. They want a sense of not being slaves. They don't want to be goyim anymore. They want to fight. But they don't have any way to let that out. So they go through stupid things like hitting themselves with hammers. And they destroy their tissue. They destroy themselves. And a lot of people, they're not just doing that physically, like with hammers, which is true. Look it up if you don't believe me. Bone smashing. But they're doing it spiritually too. A lot of people are taking black pills or dooming. Like my generation, Like I love the youth. I love how they're trying to fight for themselves. But so much of my generation is just stuck in a state of misery and doom. And I am against that. I'm a positive fellow. I believe in the clown, the Hopi people, they have their concept of the sacred clown. That Hopi people are southwest Native American tribe just above Mexico, around Arizona and Nevada. They're maternalistic. Anyways, very much like Jews in that sense. But anyway, the Hopi people, they have the concept of the sacred clown. And that sacred clown mirrored society. It mocked it. It taught people what not to do and what to do. It showed them imperfection, and it showed them how to go beyond it. And I feel it is my job to be the modern version of the sacred clown.
Good for you, man.
The sacred clown is the most important role in society. Because there's like three main holy jobs: prince, prophet, and priest. The priest is a doctor of faith, a spiritual doctor. A prophet is, like the politicians, what they should be. They tell you where you are and where you should be, and where it could be. And the king, of course, is a ruler. It's the governor. It's the man of the present. But the clown the Period, as I would say, or the Zani, he is antithesis to all of them, because but not to hurt them, but to help them, to bring them up. Because, like for example, with fasting, basically the idea of fasting is not that you're killing your own cells, is that you're killing the dead cells who cannot feed on the ketones that your regular cells feed on. You know, like. Your cells, they can feed on glucose, right? But when you fast, you don't have that glucose anymore. So if you feed on ketones, with the cancer cells, they only feed on glucose, so they can't feed on ketones. That's what the clown does for society. It forces them to fast from the world of the Goyim. The Goyim are forced to fast from that material, dead world. And they're forced to just leave that out. The unfortunate thing, of course, is that with most Goys, they don't recognize humanity. They don't recognize beauty, and they will eventually die out spiritually. Not physically, of course. Like a lot of people, they have tons of kids that are all spiritually dead. But like the spiritually dead people will eventually stop going to the mic. They'll stop trying to take control of society and take it as it is. And from that moment, my generation, the sacred clowns, we will rise. But of course, it starts at home.
Good little speech you made there, or I'm not sure what you would call it, but it's
A call for
pretty,
arms.
yeah, pretty enlightening, man. You are a very thoughtful kid, young man, 21 years old.
I believe in the Holy Spirit.
Jesus, I could never. Yeah, you're special, my friend, for sure. So we're gonna end this. But we may do this again.
Yeah.
What's today? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday the 8th.
All right, so next
barely even a
Thursday,
week.
listen, so next Thursday,
Yeah.
what time is it?
5:43.
All right, so next Thursday at 5:30, meet me here at Detweiler's and you can share your knowledge with the world.
I can do that.
I'm impressed, man. I was impressed with you. I enjoyed the hell out of putting the water heater out. Enlightenment. We all need a little of it, for sure. Thanks, buddy. What's your name again?
Ryan with the Y, but you can call me Vinluv. Vinluv Bath. Vinluv Bath. Or just
Vinlo.
Bath.
Just say hey.
Vinlo.
We're gonna have a talk with Vinlo tonight.
Yeah.
This guy's incredible, man.
Or just
Hey, you
Bath.
want one of these?
Boy, would I.
Take one, whatever one you want, man.
Wowzers. I'll take the green ginkgo.
There you go.
Yes, so have a great
It's
day.
organic. 3 for $5. Good deal.
Thank you, Mr. Sunshine. You're my sunshine.
This kid's a character, man. This guy is too fucking much. Man, he just goes off, man. Incredible depth of knowledge. This kid thinks all the time, man. Wow. So the reason I'm here at Detweiler's is because I wanted to come here and pick up some pork chops, and I was going to cook at my house. First I had to go to Dunkin' Donuts. This is the world that I live in. I feel kind of stupid now after sitting next to this kid and where his brain takes him. I'm pretty much an idiot, really, I guess, compared to this guy. Yeah. They're eating us alive. Anyway, so I went and got some coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. 2 pounds for $19.99 was a good deal because they're actually pounds. I could have gone to Publix and paid about $25 for 22 ounces instead of 32 ounces for $19. So anyways, I got my coffee and then I was coming here to buy some food, some pork chops, potatoes. I was going to do some cooking in the house. I was going to do these pork chops on the cast iron griddle. And I decided I really don't want to clean my kitchen every night after cooking. I mean, I eat and then I'm I'm full and I just want to go to sleep, man. I'm a simple man. Really simple. I'm finding out after talking to this kid. This kid's a prophet, I think, man. Anyways, the depth of his knowledge and history and all of these places all over the world is just fucking incredible, man. Look at that. She's a cutie pie. Anyways, next week we're gonna do it again. Thursday, 5:30. It's gonna be him teaching all of us. Whether you heard what he said, whether it doesn't matter what side you're on, we're all doing the same thing. Incredible. You might want to play this back and listen to him again, and maybe again. Definitely open your mind a little bit. I'm not ready to have him feed me fucking Kool-Aid, tell me everything's gonna be okay, but it is what it is, guys. Have a good night.